What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all the latest content on this channel as and when it drops. So let's get into this one. So I committed kind of the cardinal sin for a hardcore boxing fan, which is watching Misfits YouTube boxing. So I watched a lot of this card on that just a few days ago on Saturday, headlined by KSI versus Tommy Fury. So this was yet another YouTuber that Tommy Fury's fighting. He's already beaten Jake Paul on points. There was a lot of hype behind that fight. It turned out to be a poor fight, and Tommy Fury scraped a victory, had to come up from a knockdown in that one. And this one was an even poorer spectacle. I mean, as far as a fight to watch, this was terrible. I mean, it was one of those where I would have been mad if you scored it for KSI, but I personally thought his work was terrible. It was sloppy. There was not much clean landed from either man, but I just thought overall Tommy Fury's work was that little bit better, that little bit cleaner, that little bit more correct. I gave it to Tommy Fury 4 rounds to 2, but because of the point reduction, my card was the same as all the judges, and even the one judge who scored it a draw, I think 57-57, that scorecard has now been overturned, and it turns out he was meant to score it the same as I did, which is 57-56 for Tommy Fury. And in this fight, it was a very frustrating affair to watch, because basically what you had was KSI trying to do, I suppose, the MVP Michael Venom Page style. Michael Venom Page, I believe, is a part of his training team, one of his key trainers, and he fights in this style where he's got hands down and he's just bouncing, and then he stops and then he counters you with sharp punches. And for Michael Venom Page, it works. It works in a cage. Even when he had a few boxing matches, Venom Page was able to use this style effectively, because Venom Page understands how to counter guys and how to land on guys. But with KSI, it's like a pound shop version of it, because all he was doing is jumping up and down, flapping his arms, flapping his wings like he's gonna fly away, and he wasn't really committing to any shots. He was trying to counter Tommy Fury, trying to loop this right hand over the top. Tommy Fury kind of got wise to it, and it was quite nip and tuck. But for the most part, I would say, apart from the first couple of rounds, Tommy Fury landed the cleaner punches. Tommy Fury was able to sometimes get a jab off, sometimes get the straight shots in, and KSI would try with the overhand right sometimes, but for a lot of what he was doing was missing. He was doing a lot of holding, and there wasn't really much. There was a few, I think, in the early rounds, a few good right hands by KSI, but not really enough to suggest that he was winning the fight. It was that Tommy Fury just ever so slightly edged it out for me. With his work was just that little bit cleaner, that little bit more correct and better. And in terms of whose game plan was working, I would argue that Tommy Fury's, if you could call it a game plan, his strategy was working just that little bit better, whereas KSI was literally just bouncing up and down, and his countering for me was quite ineffective, because it's like when Tommy would come in and try to hit him, sometimes get him to the body or the head, KSI's work would then, he'd sort of throw the right hand and it goes past, or it misses Tommy Fury, or it hits his glove or whatever. And there wasn't really anything he'd done that really, for me, convinced me that, yeah, this guy's actually winning the fight. It was all, whatever work he did land with was very scrappy overall. And I think it was close though. And for me, the thing KSI did that was effective was he kind of was able to make Tommy Fury unsure of himself and to make Tommy Fury hesitant to come in. But the problem KSI was always having is that, yes, you're able to make the man think before he comes in and think before attacking you, but then you're not really landing any punches of your own. You're not really committing yourself or really throwing anything of great significance and scoring much points or landing many scoring blows yourself. Yes, you're bouncing up and down and jumping, and Tommy Fury's not doing much, but then you're not doing anything either. And I think that was the problem. That's why the idea of it being a robbery is a joke. There's no way this was a robbery. Because, to be honest with you, both guys were absolute crap. And, KSI, while yes, you're jumping up and down, and yeah, fair enough, you didn't take all that much punishment, but you didn't really do anything yourself to stamp your authority on the fight and to show you're actually winning the fight. It was Tommy Fury who was actually trying to make a fight of it, actually trying to land punches. KSI was doing this weird style and trying to sort of counter Tommy Fury, but it was completely ineffective, and he didn't really do anything, land anything of much of significance himself. So, you look at it, and one guy was trying to make a fight of it, and the other guy was trying to counter, but not really doing much himself. So, of the two, I give it to Tommy Fury ever so slightly, because I just think there's nothing that KSI was doing that would sort of convince a judge to say he's winning. He's weren't really trying to make a fight of it. He was waiting for one big shot, and that one big shot never came. So that's my sort of view on it. I'd give it to Tommy Fury just by one round, because obviously he got the point deducted. But as a spectacle to watch, horrible fight to watch. I wouldn't want to see it in a rematch, but I suppose they could make a bucket load of money over it as a rematch. KSI is vexed, he's angry, but at the end of the day, he's only got himself to blame, because he wasn't really trying to make a fight of it. He was trying to counter. His counter punching weren't working. So, you got yourself to blame, really. I mean, and as for Tommy Fury, to me, Tommy Fury better stay in the Misfits circuit, because if he performs like that against even a good journeyman takes him out. A good journeyman beats Tommy Fury at this point. Any sort of domestic level, area level guy at this point in time beats Tommy Fury, because on his side, he should be able to deal with an awkward guy like KSI by now, as a professional boxer who's allegedly been boxing since he was a kid. If you've been boxing since you were a kid and you've got that experience, you should be able to deal. By the time you've had one round of dealing with a guy jumping up and down, by the second round, at least, you should know what to do, and you should be able to, because one thing that was missing from Tommy Fury's game was a jab. I think that was missing from both fighters' game, but as the boxer, Tommy Fury should have been sticking a jab on KSI, and because a guy like that bouncing up and down, all you need to do, step in with a double jab, and then he has to stop bouncing up and down, and then you can set him up and land your shots. That's all you need to do with a guy like that. I mean, but Fury just refused to do it. No jab in there. He was just looking for that one shot and sometimes landing the straight shots. And, in this one, he doesn't come out of it looking good either, Tommy Fury, because it was a terrible performance from a guy that's supposed to be a boxer. Amateur boxers would have beaten KSI that night. Good amateur boxers, even, guys that are, decent, who've won the ABAs, or maybe who haven't won the ABAs, guys that are in the novices part of the amateurs with just a few fights would probably beat KSI, because he is that technically poor. So a guy like Tommy Fury, he comes out of it looking bad, because yes, you won the fight and you celebrated like you won a world title, but you won against a YouTuber, and at times in there you looked like you didn't know what you were doing, which is ridiculous coming from a professional boxer. So for Tommy Fury, in my opinion, he better just stay in the Misfits circuit, because he's made life-changing money, and if he does decide to start taking it serious, go to domestic level, area level, for me, he gets beat at that sort of level. He gets beat at sort of area level, you know, English title, British level. He gets beat at those levels. So for me, he should just stay with this, make his millions. And, you know, once he's had a few more fights, he could even call it a day, or he could go into the serious side of boxing. But if he does that, he's going to have to start from scratch. And if they don't match him very, very carefully, he's going to get beat. So that's my view on it. I think Tommy Fury was the rightful winner. Crap fight, but yeah, he better just stay in the misfit circuit. For KSI, it's no disgrace for him. He's just a YouTuber. Boxing's a hobby for him, so no big deal for him, no disgrace for him. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you thought about this fight in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.